Good evening. Walaikum salam. Acha, wait. Have we started? Okay. Welcome. Ego 501, Section 2, Week 11. First of all, I apologize for last Saturday. And the good news is that today will literally be our last discussion class. Whatever classes we get after this will be preparation for the final. How we prepare for the final, we'll discuss that later. So in today's discussion class, we'll revisit game theory again, that particular example that we looked last time, and we will introduce a concept called asymmetric information, the opposite of symmetric. And then the last part, we will discuss our final exam preparation and our assignment averages, etc. So let's start. Can you see the slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
lovely.
sir.
So, week 11. So this is literally our last discussion class. We'll get another 1 week, but that will be left for sum up and reviews. Okay, so first of all, we discuss game theory again. We introduce asymmetric information, and part 3 we discuss last few classes and final exam prep. Okay. Acha, আমি এটা ইয়ে করি. Is there anybody here who has problems understanding the difference between independent and interdependent decisions? Is there anybody here who has problem understanding independent and interdependent decision making? কি ব্যাপার, তোমরা কি বোঝা হয়ে গেলে নাকি?
প্রবলেম নেই মনে হয় স্যার, মানে বুঝেছে।
আচ্ছা যাক, oh, that means silence means yes. Okay, so we're in Sri Lanka. So when you say this means yes. Okay, so where are we? Okay, so let me just fly through it. Independent decision means whatever decision I take doesn't influence your decision making, and the reverse is also true. Whatever decision you're taking doesn't influence my decision making. Okay, now what is the implication of independent decision making? When I take a decision and I know very well that whatever decision I take doesn't influence you, and the reverse is also true, then what I do, I try to maximize my personal gains, knowing that you can't affect me and I can't affect you. You are doing the same thing. When you are taking an independent decision, you try to maximize your personal gains, okay? And what happens? You know that whatever decision you take doesn't influence me, and whatever decision I take doesn't influence you. The example that we gave last day was in an exam hall. When the bell rings, everybody starts writing. My decision doesn't influence the person next to me. Whatever the person next to me is doing doesn't influence me. So what do? I start writing and I try to get as much marks as I can from my side. So that's a personal maximization from my side. You are also doing the same thing. Finally, what is the implication of this? If all of us are trying to maximize our benefits, my individual benefit, you're trying to maximize yours, C is trying to maximize theirs, D is trying to maximize theirs, then the sum total of all the benefits will be maximized. Do we agree on this?
Yes, sir.
ঠিক আছে, so I'm trying to get the maximum grade that I can. You're trying to do the same. C, D, and rest of the class is also trying to do the same. So ultimately কি হচ্ছে, the whole average is maximized. This is very important because later on when we rediscuss the prisoner's dilemma, we will see that personal maximization can sometimes lead to a bad effect, which will be a bad equilibrium. Then once we've defined independent decision making, we have to define what we mean by interdependent. The word interdependent comes from gaps within the definition of independent decision making. My decision influences yours, your decision influences mine. My decision influences yours, your decision influences mine. What's the implication of this? When I make a move, when I decide to do something, I have to think what response you will make. The reverse is also true. If I assume that you are going to take the northern road, what's my response? If I assume that you're going to take the southern road, what's my response? Now, if we are rational people, if we are clever people, the response by definition has to be the best response. Taina?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and when we use the word best, we are actually using it as a superlative degree. When we say that I will try, depending on what I think that you will do, I will give my best response. You'll do the same thing. Then that means if a best response exists, probably a better and a good response also existed. If I chose better, that means I was not doing my best. There was scope for further improvement. So I will want to revise my decision. If I chose good when best was available, then again I have not done my best. That means I will want to revise my decision. From this type of behavior comes the concept of interdependent decision-making equilibrium. Equilibrium of interdependent decision-making. What's that? Given what you're doing, I'm doing my best. I'll repeat this again. Given what you're doing, I'm doing my best. If this statement is correct, I will not want to change my decision. Is that correct? Given what you're doing, I am giving my best response. তাহলে এই ক্ষেত্রে কি আমি আমার decision change করতে চাবো?
No,
No,
sir.
sir. No, sir.
The reverse also has to be true for equilibrium. Given that I'm giving my best response to what you're doing, I don't want to change my decision. But given that what I'm doing, you are not giving your best response. If this is the situation, will you want to revise your decision?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So the equilibrium is, given what you're doing, I'm showing my best response, I don't want to change. Reverse is also true for an equilibrium. Given what I'm doing, you are also showing your best response. So you will also not want to change your decision. So the so-called Nash equilibrium, this interdependent equilibrium was named after John Nash since he introduced it formally, successfully. এর আগেও ছিল কিন্তু but Nash successfully introduced it formally. It has to be a mutual best response. দুইজনের best response একসাথে হতে হবে. If I'm showing my best response, of course I don't want to change. But given where I am, if you're not doing the same, you will want to change. So in a multiplayer decision making model, if one person in 10 people want to change, it cannot be an equilibrium. Throughout the whole semester, we have defined equilibrium as a stationary position. So if one person says no, I don't agree, so he will want to revise or change his decision, so it cannot be an equilibrium. I think we've understood this quite well last week. I was quite amazed. Okay, so here we have the exam hall example. And simple model is, how does this say? My response has to be the best. We've discussed this because best is superlative over here. So if I'm not choosing my best response, I'm choosing better or good, which was less than best, then I am not maximizing a benefit or minimizing a cost. In that case, the system is not optimized. So somebody wants to revise their decision. So it cannot be an equilibrium. Okay. This is what we have defined, that when the best response is mutually true for all the players, in this case 2 players, then we have an equilibrium. But the prisoner's dilemma is an example where, although people are maximizing their individual benefits given what the other person is doing, when the whole system is taken into account, they are less well off or they are worse off. কিভাবে? Okay, এগুলি তো আমাদের আচ্ছা এখানে আমি মঞ্চ এইভাবে দেখি। I think we don't need to. আচ্ছা, if I lock the game here, who is giving a best response? Player 1 or player 2? Player A or player B?
Player B.
B. 2.
Acha, that means player B or player 2 is doing the best response. We all agree, right?
Yes, sir.
Acha, kintu
Yes,
is
sir.
player 1 doing the best response at the same
Yes.
time? Player 1.
Sir.
Are we counting higher the better or lower the better?
Now, higher the better.
Okay. Then
Tale player 1 is not doing his best response, given that player B has chosen low price, right?
Yes, sir.
So if we lock the game here, then what happens is player 1 will definitely say, I'm not happy. He will want to move. If one person is unhappy, then it cannot be in equilibrium. Both have to be happy given what the other person is doing. This is where the catch is, given what the other person is doing. Similarly, if we lock the game here, who is showing a best response? This time is player A or the player 1, right?
Yes, sir.
Acha.
Yes, sir.
This one is not showing the best response given what the other person is doing. It is our boli ami. Then we will get the prisoner's dilemma clear. Player 2 has chosen high price, given that he has chosen low price. Taile, if a player A has chosen low price, player B has chosen high price and gets -1. Won't he want to choose a low price and get 0 which is better than -1?
Exactly, sir.
yes, sir.
What will happen? He will want to revise his decision. Same happens over here. This was green, nah? Okay. Same happens over here. This one is not doing his best response. Why? Given that the other player has chosen low price, the column player, he has chosen high price, he gets -1. So ও যদি ধরে নেয় যে ও low price ই খেলবে, ঠিক আছে, তাহলে he has not chosen his best. Bestটা কি? Bestটা definitely এটা না? 0 is better than -1.
Yes, sir.
So if we lock the game over here in this cell, one person is happy, one is not happy. So it's not a mutual best response. The person who is not happy will want to revise their decision. Similarly, if we lock the game over here, again, it's just the opposite because it's a symmetric game. This person is happy, this person is not. So the person who's not happy will definitely want to change their decision. Ever clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the technical problem হচ্ছে these remaining two cells. Negative আমরা যাই, এখানে কি বলছে? Oh, we've already done this. Okay, this is our equilibrium. এটা কি clear? Do I need to elaborate it again?
না স্যার বলেছিলেন স্যার লাস্ট ক্লাসে।
বলছিলাম তো বুঝলাম, তুমি বুঝছো কিনা সেটা হলো
জি
কথা।
স্যার, জি স্যার।
ওইটা more important, আমি তো বলবোই। আচ্ছা, so this is equilibrium, we all agree, right? এই যে
Yes,
0,
sir.
আচ্ছা,
Yes, sir.
we have just established that -1 4 and 4 -1, these two are not equilibrium. তাহলে আমাদের থাকতেছে শুধু একটা, why is this not an equilibrium? এটা এখন আমরা ক্লিয়ার করি। Let us assume that we have locked the game here. Isn't this the best aggregate in all the 4 outcomes? Over here, the two parties make 4 million profit, which is shared equally. Over here, the two parties make 3 million profit, which is shared unequally. Player 2 gets more, player 1 gets less. এখানে profit is 3 million again, but it's just a symmetrically opposite, where player 1 gets 4 million, player 2 gets -1. তাই আর এখানে কি হচ্ছে, এখানে it is 0-0.
0 million.
হ্যাঁ, এখন কথা হচ্ছে, why is this not in equilibrium? Which player do you want to be? Do you want to be player A or player B?
একজন হলেই তো বোধহয় হয়।
আর একজন হলে হয়, you tell me that, because I'm going to do it 2 times.
Oh,
Okay, I'm player A. Okay?
yes sir.
Acha. Now, if I'm player A, I've decided to be here. আমি কিভাবে এখানে আসছি? Given that player B plays monopoly price, I have decided to play high price. ঠিক আছে? এই লজিকটা ঠিক আছে? Given that player B, player A's decision is always calculated in respect of player B's decision. Why? Because this is an interdependent decision-making game. So, when I calculate my response, that response is subject to what you are thinking. ঠিক আছে? Done?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
So, এখন দেখো, given that player B or player 2, whatever, has chosen high price, player A has chosen high price as well, and he'll get 2 million profit. Kintu, given that player B has chosen high price, is this A's best response?
No, sir. আমি তো low price করলে 4 million করে ফেলবো আমার
Exactly.
profit.
If we lock the game here and ask A, are you happy? What চোখটা এখানে পড়ে যাবে না?
Yes sir.
Yes,
How
sir.
can he come here? He can only come here if he chooses changes from high price to low price. তাই না?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so player A will want to move. আচ্ছা, এখন আমরা দেখি আবার। Now এখন আমরা player B হই। Let us be player B. We have locked the game here. How did player B come here? Given that player A has chosen high price, player B has chosen high price and gets 2M. But given that player A has chosen high price, is high price the best response for player B? No. What is the best response?
Low price.
Low price.
Price. ঠিক আছে তো?
Yes, sir.
আচ্ছা, এখন দেখো, I'm going to close the stop share. গ্রামের একটা পুকুর আছে, ঠিক আছে? এই পুকুরে কিছু মাছ আছে। Do we have any non-Bangla speaking people? Second call. Do we have any non-Bangla speaking people?
No, sir.
না, তুমি তো বুঝতেছি, তারপর থাকতে পারে একজন আছে। Do we have any non-Bangla speaking people? Okay, তাহলে আমি বাংলায় বলি। সেটা হচ্ছে, গ্রামে যদি একটা পুকুর থাকে, এই পুকুরের মালিক কারা? পুরো গ্রামবাসী না?
জি স্যার।
আচ্ছা, গ্রামে যে ঘাস জমি আছে, যেখানে গরু আর ছাগল ঘাস খায়, এই ঘাস জমির মালিক পুরো গ্রামবাসী না?
Yes, sir.
Ji, sir.
Yes sir.
আচ্ছা, মাছেরটা বাদ দেয়। আমার একটা ছাগল আছে, আমি ওই ঘাস জমিতে পাঠাই, সে ঘাস খায়। আমার ছাগল স্বাস্থ্য ভালো হয়, সে দুধ ভালো দেয়, অথবা তাকে আমি পরে জবাই করে বিক্রি করি বা খাই। গরুর ক্ষেত্রেও তাই, গরুকে পাঠানো হয়, এটা ইটস বিলংস টু এভরিবডি। আচ্ছা, এখন গ্রামের সবাই যদি এরকম পার্সোনাল বেনিফিট ম্যাক্সিমাইজ করতে যায়, তাহলে কি ওই ঘাস আর থাকবে? আচ্ছা, আমি আরেকটু বলি। ঘাস জমি আছে গ্রামে, এই জমিতে গরু আর ছাগল, গ্রামবাসী গরু আর ছাগল ঘাস খায়। We know that ছাগল যদি যত ঘাস খাবে সে তত হেলদি হবে, গরুর ক্ষেত্রেও তাই।